Hello, I'm Jeff Passel. Growing up in the Twin Cities, I was able to receive an education that laid the groundwork for me to be able to pursue my dreams. Here at the Whole Learning School, a dedicated group of staff, parents, and volunteers are working to give the same opportunity to children who would otherwise be left behind. It all began with one parent's refusal to let that happen.
I started the Whole Learning School really out of love for my daughter and because of frustration with the local school system. You know, there was just nobody that could meet her needs and help her develop into the capable, confident, independent young woman I knew that she could become. I also knew that there were many other children like Christina that would be very different in their lives if they just had a school like the Whole Learning School. My vision was really just to create a school that was more like a family, where the kids felt safe enough to learn and where the teachers could have the time to really create individualized instruction for the kids using a multisensory approach.
It's the ability to not only create a program at the end of the day, it's the ability to understand how to take that program and adjust it for each child and their unique needs. These are kids that have had the opportunity to move from a failure to being a success.
The Whole Learning School has most dramatically affected Nicole's growth academically. Her reading abilities have exploded since she's been here. When she first started here, she was able to read a few words in very simple books, and now she's progressed to where we find her in her room curled up with a book on her bed.
I think that being able to create this individualized instruction makes all the difference with academic gains. I know for my daughter Christina, her first year at this school, she made a 2-year gain in reading, which in the past she'd never made more than a 6-month gain in the same amount of time. And Christina is not an anomaly here. All the kids at the Whole Learning School have made incredible gains, not only academically, but socially and emotionally as well.
This tremendous growth wouldn't be possible without the staff at the Whole Learning School.
Well, they're wonderful, in a word. They're committed. They're passionate about what they do. They are well-trained and educated in the areas that they teach. They're committed, I think, to the founder's vision. You see the passion, you see the love, you see the commitment.
They know exactly where she is, where she needs to be. They have goals, and as a parent, you know, you feel so much more secure. You feel like there's hope for your child, like your child can go out there and get a job and do what she really wants to do, have a good life.
I don't have that pit in my stomach anymore when my child leaves my sight and he's going off to school, and that's because he's coming here. And that's because it's the people. The people is the place.
It doesn't even really feel like a school, it feels like a family here.
Well, seeing our kids that were non-readers turning into readers, kids that were fearful of numbers and math, loving numbers and math, feeling confident in themselves, that they have the ability to do what they never thought they could do. And to see that confidence and that level of independence and the feeling that they're capable.
If you've ever walked into a party or into a room where you don't know anybody and you feel really out of place, that's what those kids were feeling.
I was really afraid that my child was not going to be able to get her needs met in the educational environment, but I don't see that as the case anymore.
Fewer distractions really has helped April really reach her full potential.
He has a better overall image of himself, which again fosters that, and that's what the environment of this place does. It fosters growth. You feel accepted here for who you are.
He has really blossomed into himself. He has friends, he makes phone calls, he has jokes.
There are kids here that no longer need to be on the medicine they were taking before they came just to make it through the school day. There are kids that hardly spoke before they came, and now their parents are telling us they can't get them to be quiet. There's kids here that are in their 3rd successful year who, before the Whole Learning School, changed schools every single year.
That's probably the best thing I can say is he's begun to believe that he can succeed. And for him to do that is an incredible thing to watch because he's never understood what that feels like. It's a tender moment not only for us, but it's also a tender moment for him because now it's not, you know, can I do it? It's more turning into how can I do it? And for him to understand the difference, that's a life skill. How do you put that into words and say it's not just about the academics, it's about the fact that he can actually live life and truly live it and be a contributor and not somebody that will always need help.
You can do something about changing the future in a child's development by focusing on them over the long haul. It's not a quick fix, it's not easy, but what else is more important than the development of a human being into a useful, happy, productive person rather than someone that lives on the fringes of society.
I think it's a win-win situation when they can have community involvement, they can be contributing citizens, and that's really one of our goals here for our students.
I hope that it grows to become the model for certainly our area, and it could expand beyond that because they've really done a lot right.
At a graduation that just happened this last year when he was asked by Ann to say something about what was his biggest learning for the year, he says, you know what, I've learned how to become a better person. For him to say that is an understanding in his own mind of what we tried to pound at for years. And for him to be able to say that and really behave that way in an environment that's been conducive is a learning that's very difficult to talk about.